All right. Let me just go ahead and set that iPad down. Let's go ahead and get started with this awesome yoga practice today. And it's not awesome because of the yoga practice. It's awesome because of the collective group of why we're here this afternoon. So a relationship between Four Seasons and Project Oz and the Hype Group and the Youth Alliance Board, or Youth Action Board, excuse me, all supported by Project Oz, and just a really great opportunity to get together. Now, a lot of times we do yoga and we go into the schools to do this. And so, of course, we can't do that right now. And so this is a way to still be able to provide this same type of yoga practice for students. Now, at the end of this, we're going to be giving away some prizes to students. So if there's high school students who are joining us, please in the comments, there's a comment that indicates what information to put in there, but please spell out your first name, last name, initial, and then what school and grade that you're with, and you have an opportunity then to win one of, I think, 4 or 5 prizes that we're giving away at the end. So you'll have to make it through Shavasana to get that prize. But it's I'm sure it's going to be well worth it. Well worth it. Okay, well, let's go ahead. My name is David Vale, and I'm a yoga instructor with Four Seasons. I also do personal training and group fitness. And it's really my pleasure to be here with all of you today. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to share this yoga practice with all of you. So yoga is very personal to each one of us, and each one of us will experience something maybe quite a bit different with our own experience on our mats today. Okay, so I do have a block, I do have a mat. You don't need any of that. I've got some ways that we can just continue to get out of it what we need to without this equipment. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in a seated position. We're going to start in a seated position. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and just make sure you find a nice comfortable position, a nice tall posture. And if it's comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes for just a moment, And yoga is an opportunity to just really express exactly who you are on your mat, bringing your true authentic self to your mats. But it's also a way that allows us to practice, and that's why we call it a yoga practice, to practice the ability to find self-acceptance, to practice self-care, and to practice the ability to be calm in any situation. Now, of course, practice takes time, okay? So just one session is not going to be something where, okay, I'm automatically calm, but it is something to where it could plant that seed, okay? So practice takes time. And what's so cool about that is we get the ability to practice that so that we can start it on the mat and then maybe apply it off the mat. One of those practices is breathing. And of course, the situation we're in right now as a local community, as a country, creates anxiety and stress. And so a little bit later on, I'll show us a couple physical postures that will perhaps be useful for you to manage anxiety and stress. But right now, we're going to start with some breathing. Breathing is kind of the foundation and the core of yoga. And with this breath, this is what's called a cooling breath. So we'll breathe in nice and deep through our nose or mouth. And then as long as we can, lengthen the exhale and make that exhale as long as you can make it go. So just in terms of a reference, maybe a 4 count inhale, but then maybe an 8 count exhale. Let that exhale be longer than the inhale. Okay, and just continue to do that. Breathe in, and then exhale. And try to just lengthen that exhale out as long as you could do. Let's do that at least 5 more times. Inhale, and then exhale. Continue on with that breath. And I'll continue to speak in order to kind of just set the stage and set the tone for our practice today. Of course, with the audience that we have today, I don't know totally who's in the audience and what our abilities are, so I'm going to be applying a gentle practice today, which means you can apply your practice into the ability that you have in terms of your comfort level. Okay, so it's an opportunity to make choices for yourself in your own practice. Keep breathing about 3 more cycles. And when you get the opportunity to make choices, that is applying the ability to provide self-care. Of course, if we just spin that word around, you got to care for yourself in order to provide self-care. And that's a key part of what we're doing. So we're going to care for ourselves today. And oftentimes I hear, well, that sounds kind of selfish. That sounds kind of selfish. But if we look at it in these terms, if we care for ourselves, that allows us to be better for those that we care for. And so taking this time is not a selfish use of our time. It's an investment in ourselves. Let's try one more deep inhale. And then that long, long exhale. And so if we're able to then care for ourselves, we are better for those that are around us, and that is a good use of our time. Let's begin now just starting to physically move our bodies. So from this seated position, you're welcome to open your eyes or keep them closed and just start rocking in a circle. Make that circle as big or as small as you want that circle to be. And now we're just starting the process of starting to feel that connection between our body and our mind. We're starting to feel a sensation. That's how our body speaks to our mind. Our body is giving signals to our brain right now that says this feels good. And sometimes our body will give signals to our brain that says, hey, whoa up, that doesn't feel good. Listen to those signals. Go ahead and switch directions on those circles. Listen to those sensations. Your body is telling the truth. And tune into those sensations that allows us to be right here in the moment, in the here and now. With our breath now, instead of that uneven 4-count inhale and 8-count exhale, let's just kind of deepen the inhales now so that we have an even pattern inhale and exhale. We call that a 3-part breath. And then we're going to let that breath guide us in terms of the pace we move, and then tuning into the free-flowing nature of that breath. As long as that breath is free-flowing, that's our signal to our body that we can keep going. Let's come to stillness and bring our hands to heart center. We're going to connect our first movement with that breath as we inhale and fan those arms up nice and high. And then exhale and bring those hands right back to heart center. Let's do that 4 more times, practicing moving with that breath and practicing moving at the pace of that breath. Inhale and exhale. Again, we're all going to be moving at a different pace, so you guide that pace by using that breath and try to reach just a little bit higher with the inhales and let the exhales soften just a little bit more through your body. Excellent. Give me one more time on the inhales and right back to our heart center. Now we're going to add a gentle twist. So inhale nice and high and just turn to the left side. Staying nice and tall through the crown of our head as we exhale. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And exhale and turn to the right. And keep going. Inhale, sweep nice and high, and exhale. And just keep moving and keep alternating sides and move at the pace of that breath. Good. This just helps us to begin just loosening up through our lower back, to get that spine working and rotating a little bit, getting that blood flow going, and to get our core engaged just a little bit more. Good. Let's go one more time to the left and one more time to the right. Good. Come right back to center after that. Inhale up and exhale right to our heart center. Very nice. Taking our left hand, we'll just grab onto our front shin, not too hard. Take that right hand and then inhale it up and reach across our body, almost at an angle, and just drape it across the front on our exhale. And do that 4 more times. Reach up nice and high and exhale and bring that arm through. Keep going, applying that breath as we inhale, reach into the sides of our body, starting to just notice how that feels through our shoulders, through our ribs, and down to our hips. Good. Once you've completed 5 of those, then we're going to inhale one more time and just hold that right hand up. Look at those right fingertips into the sky and try and press our right hips back into our mats. Now if we want, we can take that left hand and push into our mat so that our hip drives a little bit closer to the right side. Breathe in and feel that length, that space we're creating from our shoulder through our ribs and down to our hip. Take a nice big inhale, expand those ribs, and feel that stretch from the inside out. Exhale that right hand through. Good. Right hand onto the shin. Now take that left hand. Inhale it up nice and tall, and exhale, bring that left hand through. Good. Inhale, reach, and exhale. Good. Just circling, getting some mobility through those shoulders. And again, just reaching into the sides of our body to stretch through those ribs and down to our hips. When we're done with a total of 5 of these, we'll take that left hand, we'll reach it up and we'll hold it up. We might feel our left glute lift up off the mat. Try and press it back in as we're pressing our hips to the left side. And again, maybe taking that right hand now and push into the mat. Push just a little bit into the mat. Very nice. Good. Exhale that left hand through. All right. So now bring both hands to the front of those shins. We're going to do a seated version of cat and cow. This is just something to start engaging the muscles in our back. Inhale as we look up, arch our back, and press our tailbone back. And then exhale and just sit back, round our spine as we look down. Inhale, squeeze our shoulder blades together in the upper and middle part of our back. And then exhale, separate those shoulder blades from each other. Sit back, sit back. I'm even pulling on the front of my shins as I sit back to get even more of a stretch. Inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lift our heart up to the sky. Exhale, look down and round. Press your spine to the back of the room as far as it will go. And then one more time, inhale. Good, and exhale. Outstanding. Very nice. Let's come back to neutral spine there. Good, just shake it out a little bit. Awesome. Let's come over the front of our knees and we're going to come on to our mats. We're going to come onto our knees and hands. And from here, we're going to have our shoulders right above our hands and our hips right above our knees, just turning at an angle for you to see that. From here, let's begin just rocking in a circle, bringing our hips closer to our heels and our shoulders in front of those fingertips. Pick any direction on the circle and any length of that circle. Make that circle as big or as small as you want. Still maintaining that nice deep inhale and exhale. Let's not forget about that breath. Even though we're not necessarily connecting breath with movement right here, but just keep that deep breath going. Good. Switch. Circles or switch directions. Hips toward those heels and drive again those shoulders in front of those fingertips. This just starts to get those wrists working and those hips working just a little bit more, some mobility through those hips. And we did cat and cow in that seated position. Let's do cat and cow from this all fours position. I'll turn to the side so we can see this. Again, keep those shoulders right above those wrists and hands and the hips above those knees. Get a little bit more strength in those hands, so dig those hands into the mat or ground beneath you so that the center of your palms lift up off the mat so you can feel that, where the knuckles are pressing in but the center of your palm is not. Good. So on our next inhale then, let's look up and bring our tailbone up toward the sky. Drop our bellies down towards the ground. And then exhale, look down, tuck our tailbones under and round our spine. Push those hands into the ground. And just continue to flow through that as we inhale and look up, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and exhale, look down, separate those shoulder blades from each other. Excellent. Keep going. Keep going. Inhale up and exhale on down. Very nice. Let's do that 3 more times at the pace of your breath. Allowing us to engage those muscles, not just in our lower back and to loosen up our hips, but those muscles that border our spine and in between our shoulders. Excellent. As we complete that one last time, we'll come to stillness and then move on to spinal balance, taking our right hand and reaching forward, thumb up toward the sky to keep that nice neutral position of our shoulder, and then draw our left heel back. And as we get here, try and keep your hips and shoulders square to the floor beneath you. And try to just lengthen from your fingertips to your heels or toes. It doesn't matter. Either one that you want to do with that back foot. Reach, 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 and extend. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, bring that right hand down, left knee down. Do the same thing on the other side. Left hand forward, thumb up toward the sky. And then heel or toe with that right foot. And try to lengthen your body as far as you can reach. Reach, 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 like you're trying to touch the opposite sides of the room with your fingertips and your heel or toe. Awesome. Let's exhale and come down to the mat. Now let's flow through this. Inhale, right hand, left heel. Exhale, down to the mat. Inhale, left hand, right heel. Exhale, down to the mat. Keep reaching, creating that length with your body. And then once you're comfortable with that length, start adding a little height. Lift the thumb a little bit higher, the heel a little bit more. And you'll start to feel a squeeze into your lower back, the connection of those muscles that border our spine, and up into the middle part of our back and up through our shoulders. Good. Keep reaching, keep lengthening. I'm going to turn to the front and face you on this one. All right. So next time our right hand's forward and left foot is back, hold them up and stay right there. Hold them up and stay right there. Awesome. Now we're going to go to something called awkward balance. Some of you have been in my class before, know where we're heading. Others, this is quite challenging, but it's an opportunity to practice staying calm during challenging times. So take that right hand and point it to the right side of the room. And then take that left foot and point it to the left side of the room. And try and keep your shoulders and hips square, and try and keep that breath just breathing nice and calmly. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of core engagement going on here, and this is quite challenging. Breathe, you've got this. Good. And now set that left foot down onto the mat right there, and come on up. Shoulders over hips, over that right knee. Take that right hand and reach up to the sky for a side bend. Awesome. Look at those right fingertips, stretching out the right side of our body, and maybe feel that right in the inside part of that left leg there as that foot stays right there onto the ground. Reach it nice and high. Awesome. Now with that right hand, we're going to circle it through so we can just get a little bit more stretch on the side, a little deeper stretch on the inside part of that left leg. So circle it through and then lift it up. Inhale and exhale. Circle it through. Awesome. Give me 3 more. Reach and circle. Very nice. And then last time, we'll meet with that right hand up toward the sky. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, bring that right hand down and left hand up toward the sky for kneeling side plank. Awesome. Another core engaging move right here. Let's take that left foot up off the ground. Keep that right hand right there. And then kick that left foot forward in front of your nose. There we go. Another awkward kneeling side plank. Good. Another core engaging move. Okay, just applying a little bit of challenge and just seeing, what it feels like for us. Now make some choices for you. Make some choices for you. If this is not in the cards today, that's okay. Bring that leg back and set it down. Let's find all fours. We'll do the same thing on the other side. That's right, we've got another side to do. So let's take that left hand, extend it forward, and that right heel, and extend it back. Good, and then awkward balance on this side. So take that left hand, point it to the left side of the room, take that right foot, and point it to the right side of the room. And try and keep those shoulders and hips square, and that breath free-flowing as much as you can do. Nice. Whew, a lot of stuff going on right there. And then we're going to go ahead and just set that right foot down. Awesome. And come on up. Shoulder over hip, over knee. Inhale that left hand up. Hold it right there. Stretch the left side of our body. Inside part of that right leg and reach. Reach and breathe. Awesome. There we go, really stretching out the side of our body and into our hips. Good. And now we're going to circle that arm. Let's take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Bring that hand through. Good. Inhale it up and exhale it through. Very nice. Inhale and exhale. Just a few more. Next time we inhale it up, keep it up there. And then exhale that left hand down, reach that right hand up toward the sky, kneeling side plank, just to engage our core on the other side. Awesome. Taking that right foot now, lift it up off the floor, and then kick that foot forward toward the front of our body. Whoo, there we go. Really working into those hips and into that core. We got it, we got it. Hang on, hang on. Bring that foot back and set it down. Very nice. Let's find all fours yet again. All fours yet again. So from here, make sure those toes are curled. Those toes are curled. Let's start walking our hands toward those toes. Start lifting those knees up off the ground. Keep pushing those hands until we find our feet, and then inhale those hands up nice and tall, and exhale to our heart center. Very nice. Rest those thumbs in our heart and try to feel your heart beating. You're doing that. You're making that happen. Awesome. From here, let's inhale up nice and tall. And just exhale and bring those hands through our hips. And again, inhale up. And a little bit deeper past our knees. And then inhale up. And a little bit deeper through our shins. And one more time, inhale up and exhale and forward fold all the way down, all the way down. And down might mean we're resting our hands on our shins. Down might mean we're resting our hands onto a block or something that resembles a block, or fingertips or hands to the ground. Now let's stay down here. I'm going to turn to the side. Okay, you stay just facing me. Stay down here. Stay down here. So I've given you one tool already to manage anxiety, and that is that breath that we started with. The faster inhale and the longer exhale. Okay, anytime we have a longer exhale, that is a calming breath, and that's one that can help just ward off some of the effects of stress and anxiety. Here's a pose. This is an inversion, and this is a pose that just is a naturally calming pose. Getting our head beneath our heart causes our heart to not work as hard, but it also has some impacts with our nervous system to allow our nervous system to find more of that restful state versus that fight or flight state. So anytime you might be feeling anxious or you need to calm down a little bit, this pose right here is one that will help that. So we can interlock our arms in this pose. We can let our arms hang down. We can even wrap our arms behind our legs. But the key thing is let those arms hang freely. Let the crown of your head fall to the floor. Let your face be expressionless so that we don't have any engagement through our jaw or teeth. And just allow yourself to find some calm and peace while we just hang down here. Hang down here. Good. And we're just breathing. That's all we're doing is just relaxing and breathing and hanging down. Still that nice deep inhale and exhale. And we'll go with 2 more breaths in this forward fold. Nice. From here, without moving the legs, we're going to bring our hands back by our hips and then lengthen our spine from the crown of our head to our tailbone. Try to just visualize that we're parallel to the ground with our upper body. Try to visualize that we're sitting on the back wall with our tailbone so that the weight of our body shifts into our heels a little bit, even though the whole foot stays right on the ground. We have to squeeze those abs a little bit, and we have to engage our lower back. This helps to strengthen both of those as we breathe through this. My legs are shaking just a little bit. Yours might be as well, and that's okay. All right. As we exhale, we're going to sit down into chair pose. So bring the tailbone a little bit closer to the ground, thumbs up toward the sky. We can also have our hands at heart center. My feet are separated, but you can also have them together in that chair pose. Okay. As we inhale, press back to airplane pose. Arms back, lengthen through those legs. Exhale, sit down into chair pose. Inhale, back to airplane. Let's do that 3 more times. Exhale, sit down, and inhale, lengthen. Awesome. Exhale, sit down, and inhale, lengthen. 1 more time. Exhale, seated position. Exhale, lengthen. And let's find 1 more chair pose. Hang out right there. Again, hands to heart center or thumbs up. And now from here, well, I guess the little theme is called awkward today. I don't know. We did that awkward balance. We did that awkward kick. Now we're going to do awkward chair or just awkward pose. Lift your heels up onto the balls of your feet and your toes. Balance. Remember how we said we're going to practice staying calm even in the most challenging times? This is one of those times. Trying to keep the heels up off the ground as we inhale nice and tall. Inhale nice and tall. Reach. Challenge that balance and then exhale to our heart center, resting those heels down. Very nice. Again, rest those thumbs on your heart and feel that heartbeat. Nice job. Awesome. Here we go. We're going to do an upright version of our sun salutation today. And as we inhale, we're going to shoot our hands up straight up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Nice long spine as we come down. As we inhale, drape our hands across those shins, rest below our knees, nice long spine, just like that airplane pose, with a little support on those legs. Exhale, forward fold, bend those knees, and inhale, sweep up nice and tall, and exhale right back to heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, sink into those legs, forward fold. Inhale, reverse that swan dive, and right back to our heart center. 1 more time, and then we'll add a variation. Inhale up, and exhale, fold. Inhale up to that flat back, and exhale, sink into those legs, sweep up nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. Now let's add chair pose. That's right, more chair pose. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale up, flat back, exhale, sit back, chair pose, thumbs up toward the sky. Inhale back to that flat back, drape those hands across those shins. Exhale, bend those knees, sweep down, and then inhale, sweep up nice and tall, right back to heart center. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale, come down. Inhale, drape those hands across those shins. Exhale, sit down, chair pose. Inhale, right back up, half lift. Exhale, come down, forward fold. Inhale, reverse that swan dive, and exhale, right back to Tadasana. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale, hang low. Inhale, up the flat back, and exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, back to that half lift, and exhale, sink into those legs, sweep up nice and tall, and exhale to our heart center. Good. Take a moment, catch our breath, a little sip of water. We're going to move on into our standing flows. Our standing flows. Awesome. Good. So we'll start with warrior 1 position. So our right foot's going to be forward and our left foot's going to be back. Okay, a deep bend in our right knee and our hips slightly coming forward and our shoulders squared up, arms. Reaching up and shoulders rolled down and away from those ears. Good. All right. So we're going to find different postures and we're initially going to settle into them. And then we're going to add a little dynamic movement into them. Okay, so mirroring that cat and cow that we did from the seated position in all fours, let's try and just emulate those shoulders that we did earlier. So we're going to open our arms up nice and wide, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then exhale and give ourselves a hug, separate those shoulders from each other. Inhale from that cow position and then exhale and that cat position, rounding that spine. Give me that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Give it yourself a hug. See, there's an element of self-care right there. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. We'll refine that warrior 1 posture. Take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, that front foot stays right where it's at in the knee. Then all we do is point our left foot to the left side, extend those arms front and back. I'm going to turn to the side now, warrior 2 posture. Good. All right.
A little dynamic with Warrior Two. As we inhale, we're going to bring our hands to heart center and lengthen that front leg. So inhale, come forward, and exhale, push those arms away, drive. Inhale, come back to heart center, and exhale, knees still going right towards those toes. Inhale, and exhale. Give me two more. Give me two more. Making sure that front knee drives right towards those toes, and it feels good on your body, okay? We don't do pain in yoga. It's not no pain, no gain. It's just simply no pain. Simply no pain, right? So it's got to feel good. It's got to feel good. Let's settle into that Warrior Two. Make sure we have a good posture in that Warrior Two. Ears over shoulders over hips, and even balance on our feet, carrying our body weight. Good. From here, we're going to push the hands and find Reverse Warrior. So we're just going to drive the hands forward, and then that right hand is going to sweep up toward the sky, and we're going to hold that position for just a moment right there. That front knee is still bent, and we're still reaching nice and high. Creating a nice stretch along the front side of our body. Squeeze that left glute so it's pressing our hips forward. Good. And we've already seen the dynamic in motion just once. Let's put 5 of them together. Keeping that front knee bent, push forward, and sweep the right hand up. And again, drive. Sink in maybe even deeper to that front leg, and lift. Keep going. Push, and lift. Awesome. 2 more. Drive, and reach for it. And one last time, we'll meet with our hand right up into the sky. We're probably feeling something on that right leg. It's probably barking at us a little bit. That's right, it's called sensation. That's what is happening right there. Good. Keep that hand right there. Lengthen that front leg. Reach higher. Create that reach and create that space through our ribs. Awesome. Triangle pose. Let's bring those arms out nice and wide. Breathe in as much as we can, and then begin reaching as far forward as we can. Hand going one way, hips going the other way. Reach, 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 and then tip over. You see that? I didn't do anything else except move my arms in that position. Awesome. So my right hand is finding my leg above or below my knee, wherever it feels good for me, or I can use that block or something that resembles that block. But the key thing is find the alignment that helps you to stack your shoulders and stack your ribs and avoid going too far into this. It's easy to go too far into this, but a telltale sign is if you had a little flashlight on your heart, is that flashlight pointing straight to the wall, or is it pointing to the ground? If it's pointing to the ground, then seek to lift up just a little bit more. Good. Use that self-care. Sometimes self-care means a little bit of humility, right? Finding that self-acceptance and accepting where we're able to be today. Good, from triangle pose, we're gonna circle that arm through. Like a guitar hero, exhale, bring that arm through and inhale it back up to the sky. Give me 4 more just like that. Exhale, sweep it through, inhale nice and high. Awesome, keep going, keep going. Give me a little Pete Townsend right here. Pete Townsend, of course my high school students. Anybody know who Pete Townsend is? No? From The Who, anybody know The Who? Okay, Led Zeppelin? Yeah, they were backseat to Led Zeppelin, I think. Okay, all right. We're gonna reach up nice and high after those 5. Awesome, exhale back to Warrior Two. Boom, okay, and then just step forward, step forward. Outstanding. Good deal. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. So that left foot's gonna be forward now. We're gonna find Warrior One. Again, on Warrior One, both feet are on the ground, heels to toes. That right foot is just pointing a little bit off to the right side. Good, a nice deep bend in that left knee. Arms up, shoulders rolled down, hips coming slightly forward, shoulders squared up, and then we breathe. Let's emulate those cat and cow shoulders, shall we? So we inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and exhale, one arm over the other, separate those shoulders from each other. Inhale, squeeze. Get a nice stretch up top, and exhale, bring it through. Good, 2 more. Inhale, and exhale. Looking good, last time. There we are. Let's re-find that Warrior One. Extend those arms up, shoulders rolled down. Awesome. And then when we make the shift to Warrior Two, that front knee and toe don't move at all. The only thing that moves is that right foot. Points to the right side. Extend those arms front and back. Excellent. Let me turn to the side so we can see that a little better. There we go. Almost tripped on my mat. How about that? There we go. All right. Hey, this is live, right? It's no bloopers, no blooper reel. It just happens for real. Okay, awesome. Good warrior two posture right here. Good deep bend in that left knee, pointed right towards our toes. Long leg and strong leg on that right side. As we inhale, we're going to bring our hands to heart center. So inhale, and then exhale, push those arms away. Inhale, and drag those hands, even with some dynamic tension, like you're pushing something away. Inhale, and then exhale. Nice. Two more. Come on, back to our heart, and exhale, let it out. Good. Last time. Awesome. There we are. Find warrior two pose. Good. We're going to go into reverse warrior. We're going to push forward with those hands, and then that left hand reaches up toward the sky, nice and high. Hold that reverse warrior for just a moment right here. Good. Creating that space along the front side of our body, extending and reaching and lifting. That front knee is still deeply bent. All right, let's push to reverse. Here we go. Drive those hands, and then left hand reaches. Give me four more just like that. Awesome. Push and lift. All right. There we go. And again, maybe sinking in just a little bit more into that leg as we push and drive forward. All right. One more time, and we'll meet with that left hand in the sky, reverse warrior. Keep that left hand right there and lengthen that front leg. Reaching just a little bit higher. Feel that stretch even more across the front side of our body. Let's extend those arms now, warrior two arms, and we're going to find triangle pose. Breathe in as deeply as you can. Exhale. Reach as far as you can. When you can reach no further, then we tip over. All right. There we go. Good. We're just finding a little bit less is more with triangle pose. Okay, trying to get down to the floor, going deeper. It's really hard to keep those shoulders from blocking down towards the floor, from trying to square up to the floor. And so just do our best to try and just stack through those shoulders, and then find that point in the posture through experimentation and playing around that best works for you. Everybody's got their sweet spot in each posture. All right, little guitar hero arms. Here we go. Exhale, sweep that right arm through. Inhale, reach it up to the sky. Keep going. Exhale and inhale. Good. Keep sweeping through. There we are. Outstanding. When we completed a total of 5 here, meet with our right hand up toward the sky. Exhale back to warrior two. And then step forward towards the front of our mats. Awesome. Very nice. Good. All right. Moving on to another standing series. Another standing series. We'll start in crescent pose. Crescent pose. So our right foot will be forward and our left foot will be back, except our back heel is going to stay up off the ground this time. We lengthen that leg without locking that knee joint, and we square up our hips and shoulders toward the front. Okay, I'm going to face the front. While we do that, I just want you to see that heel up off the ground. Good. All right. So we're going to find a crescent pose. All right. So from crescent pose, we're going to lean forward, sweep those arms back, just like we did in that airplane pose, and then thumbs up toward the sky and reach nice and high. And do that 4 more times. Exhale. And as we inhale and lift up, try and feel that left side hip opening up. Good. Softening through that back arch. Engage that core as we hinge forward. Awesome. Stay with it. Stay with it. Good. When we're done with a total of 5, we're going to meet. We're going to meet right back in crescent pose. In crescent pose. Good. From here, take that right hand and bring it, just rest it on our tailbone. And take that left hand and reach a little bit higher, pressing our hips to the left side, opening up that left side, a little side bend. Reaching into those ribs, really challenging our balance here, because we want to, this one's a little bit more challenging to keep our balance. With that left hand now, staying as tall as we can from the crown of our head to our tailbone, set that left hand onto your right hip bone. Turn and rotate, facing your heart and your shoulders to the right side. Stand tall. Good. Really reaching into that left hip now. Get a little rotation on our spine. Standing tall. Good. Big move right here as we come all the way back front and center. And we're just going to sweep those arms back and around and find Warrior Two pose. So let me turn to the side. Right foot still forward. We've been in Warrior Two before. It's familiar territory. All right. Good stuff. From Warrior Two, we're going to find right angle pose. So breathe in and then exhale. Bring that right forearm to the top of the leg. Avoid the knee and backhand up to the hip or to the sky. Now for Jonesing for just a little bit more depth on that right angle, then we walk that right arm to the inside parts of our right leg, either down to the ground, use that block, or just float that hand in the air and ask our core to stabilize us right there. All right. Let's add a little dynamic, shall we, to this? Take that left hand. Inhale, reach overhead, or exhale, reach overhead and inhale up toward the sky. Good. Exhale, bicep to our ear. Inhale, reach nice and high. Give me 3 more just like that. Exhale, reach into those ribs. Inhale and lift. Good, 2 more. Awesome stuff. 1 more time. Exhale and inhale. And let's come all the way back to Warrior Two. Good, step forward. Perfect. All right, same thing, other side. Same thing, other side. So left foot forward, right foot back, crescent pose, hips, shoulders squared up to the front. All right, here we go. Here we go. Whew, sink into this. Nice deep bend in that left knee. Just play around with that depth. Again, everybody's got our sweet spots, right? Good. As we exhale, hinge forward, and then as we inhale, thumbs come up toward the sky. It's okay to wobble. I just wobbled right there. Exhale, hinge, squeeze those abs, stabilize as we hinge. Good. Keep going. We'll do a total of 5 right here. Hinging and lifting. Each time we lift, try to just notice that right hip. That stretch across the top of your hip flexors into your quad. See if you feel it just a little bit more. 1 more time. 1 more time. Awesome. Stay right there in crescent pose. Left hand this time sets onto our tailbone. Just relax it back. Take that right hand, reach up and press our hips to the right side. Very nice. Stretching. Opening up the right side of our body. We're going to add that twist now. So stay nice and tall, crown of our head to our tailbone. Take that right hand and set it on our left hip or somewhere nearby, opening up our heart to the left side. Think about those legs a little bit as if those legs are scissoring, squeezing toward each other. That will give you that stability and control. Come back to center. We're going to circle open to that Warrior Two, setting that back heel down, opening up, Warrior Two. Good, I'm going to face to the side so you can see that. Awesome. Find in that Warrior Two yet again. And then we'll find a right angle pose. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, left forearm to the top of the leg. Again, avoid that knee. Right hand up toward the sky or hip. And then just play around and find your version of right angle pose. Your version of right angle pose. Just so much so we still feel nice balanced approach, that we're stacking through the ribs and the shoulders. Good. So we're going to exhale, bring that bicep to our ear, reach overhead and inhale, lift nice and high. Give me 4 more of those. Exhale, reach, extend, and inhale and lift. Awesome. Couple more. Keep going. Just reaching in, lengthening, trying to create a body as long as we can from our fingertips to that back right heel. Keep going. 1 more time. As we inhale back up, come right back up to Warrior Two. Very nice. Okay, step forward. Step forward. Okay. We've got to do a little tree pose. We've got to do a little tree. Very nice. So a little tree. We're going to stand on our right foot. I got the block there, only if it's needed. We're going to externally rotate our left leg, which means we bring our knees and toes, point them out to the left side as we open that hip. You're welcome to set your toes on the block or your toes on the ground, heel above the ankle, or find a spot above or below the knee on the leg as we find our tree. It's okay to wobble, it's okay to stumble. Doing balance poses is something where we begin it on the mat but apply it in real life. It starts with being able to deal with frustrating moments. So when that foot falls, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with that? Do we get angry? Do we just give up? Or do we just allow ourselves to just dust off and say, okay, that's where I'm at today. I'm on this big giant orb that's moving and I'm bound to lose my balance. Okay? It's also an ability for us to find some calm and practice some calm. So we're just moving a lot and now we're not moving, we're finding stillness. And so the ebb and flow of finding that calm amongst that stillness, of finding that space amongst all of that activity is an important thing to do. Good. Let's exhale and flip over to the other side. Okay. Left foot on the ground, right knee and toes point to the right side. Find your version of tree pose on this side. I can't think of a pose that hits more of the yoga principles than tree pose. Because it's one of those things that over time, I remember when I first tried to do tree pose, my tree was not very sturdy. If you had planted my tree, it would have fallen over about 30 times out in the yard. You would have had to brace it all up and put all those different wires on it and all sorts of things to keep it from the wind blowing it over. Okay, it's just something that gets better with time, gets better with practice, gets better as we're able to be more in the moment and find more of that calm even in some challenging situations. Okay, so it's just one of those things that over time, it gets better. It gets better over time. Good. All right. As we exhale and release out of tree pose, let's go ahead and find a seated position. I want to make sure we reserve some time at the end so we can give away some of those prizes. You all want that to happen, right? I'm assuming we want that to happen. So we'll make that happen. Okay, as we find our seated position, okay, we're going to extend our right leg out, put a bend into our left leg, and just however it's comfortable to set that foot right there beside the leg. Okay, a little forward fold as we inhale up nice and tall, and then we're going to exhale and reach as far forward as we can. Reach as far forward as we can, and when we can't reach any further, that's our body's way of saying, that's good, that's enough, and then we just stabilize. We either grab it onto the foot or ankle or shin. Okay? Now it's not an exercise in trying to get our nose down to our knee. That's not self-care. That's not self-care. That's self-harm, and that's not good. So what we try to do is just feel something, okay, but not too much. Okay, that's kind of my buzzword in terms of feeling sensations. Feel something, but not too much. If we feel too much, that's a good indication that our body's going to start screaming at us in just a moment. And usually the body speaks in warning signals. The first one's a shut across the bow. The second one's for real. And so we listen to that first one as we get a nice gentle stretch here. Just allow ourselves to just sink into this nice stretch from our heel up to our glutes, even connecting into our lower back. And breathe. As we gently release, let's take that left knee up and bring that left foot to the inside or the outside of that right knee. Bring our left hand all the way behind us as additional support, and then bring that right elbow to the outside of that left knee, or use that right arm and give that left leg a hug. As we sit tall and rotate, breathe.
And try to feel this stretch on your exhales. Inhale, feel a little bit taller, and exhale, and sink in a little bit deeper into this twist. Even in the twist, we should still feel the full range of our breath, the full extent of our lung capacity. Very nice. Awesome. As we exhale and come back to center, let's bring that left ankle above that right knee. Create a little figure 4 shape right here. And then take your fingertips to the side of your body and start just drawing that right heel in. So we get that figure 4. We get a little bent knee right there in a seated version of pigeon pose. Seated version of pigeon. Okay, and then we sit nice and tall. Okay, and each one of us can have a different variable of what we feel on this one. So maybe that knee's fully bent and that foot's completely on the floor, or maybe that heel's on the ground and toes are up, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Good. So we just find our version of this. Now as an optional step, have those fingertips facing forward towards the feet or out toward the sides. Okay, not away in the other direction behind you, but forward or out to the sides. And let's get a little tabletop pigeon. So we're going to begin lifting our hips. Keep that ankle right there and just lift your hips on up. Lift your hips on up, hovering those shoulders above our wrists and hands. Allowing that left knee to drop down just a little bit more, feeling a deeper stretch into that left hip. Keep a nice neutral spine, even letting that head fall back just a little bit. So we're getting a stretch up top, trying to avoid those shoulders from crunching down and getting that head into a turtle shell. Lift that head on out. Push through those shoulders, push through those hands. Lift that heart just a little bit more. And exhale and bring everything down nice and gently. Good. Same thing other side. Left foot forward, right leg bent. Toes toward the shins, inhale up nice and tall, and then reach as far as you can go. Reach, 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 reach. When you can go no further, that's enough. Stop and stabilize. And then breathe and find a little bit more to stretch. Those exhales are designed to soften the muscles in our body. And so we use those exhales to feel more. And that's not just to feel the sensation. It allows us to soften those muscles so that we can reach in and get a little bit more out of that stretch safely. You may not even realize that you're doing it, but as we use those exhales, we just naturally soften and sink in just a little deeper. On our next exhale, gently release. Let's bring that right knee, foot stays to the inside or comes to the outside of that left knee. Right hand comes around for support. And then bring that left elbow to the outside or give that right knee a hug. Staying tall, rotate, and breathe. Nice breath right here. As we exhale and come back, front and center. Let's bring that right ankle above the left knee. Okay, hands to the side, and then begin finding that figure 4 in that bent knee version of pigeon pose. Leaning forward into this nice tall posture, foot's completely on the ground or the heels down. So find that just right position for you. Where's your sweet spot in this pose? Opening up through the hip and glutes, playing around with leaning forward just a little bit more. And now adjust those hands on the ground, fingertips facing towards the feet or off to the side, but not behind you, please. Good, and then really lock that left foot down on the ground. Lift our hips up, shoulders hovering right above those hands. Nice neutral spine as we let that head just kind of hang there, and then push through the shoulders to lift up out to get that heart lifting a little bit higher to the sky. Drop that right knee down, feel a little bit more through that hip. Lift those hips just a little bit more into our lower back. Press, hold, in control, breathe. And exhale and gently release. Okay. All right. So if you have a block, go ahead and find that block. If you don't have a block, I have an alternative to make it happen for you. So remember I shared a couple of those poses to manage anxiety. Here's one coming up. We're going to come onto our backs. Grab behind those knees, interlock those ankles. Gently come on down onto our backs. Feet flat on the floor, and either setting our hands down beneath our tailbone and our hips. Palms down to the ground so supports our hips. We're going to float those feet up toward the sky. Or take that block or something that resembles a block. It could be a couch cushion. Okay, it could be a pillow. And then float those feet up. So the idea with this pose, supported legs up the wall, we can also do it against the wall, is to try to feel the nothingness of this pose. It's a restorative pose. It's one that allows our body to find rest, allows our body to relax and release tension. Again, it's another version, it's another example of an inversion. Other inversions are like headstand and handstand, but also this is one without having to get into a headstand or handstands. Thank you very much. And also forward fold. Forward fold. So anytime we get our head a little bit beneath our heart, good. But this is one, again, that helps to manage the effects of stress, the effects of anxiety. If you're just not feeling it, if things are just feeling a little bit overwhelming, things are building up, and you need a break, you need to get away, find this pose. Find this pose. Put on some soothing music. Find this pose. Close your eyes and sit in this position. And you can sit here for a very long time. You can see exactly how relaxing it is. And this is one that's just perfect to help get our body out of that fight or flight and get our body into that restful state. Allows our body to just relax. Good interaction with our nervous system allows us to calm down. So we have tools at our disposal through the breath, through how we physically place our bodies to manage, to cope, to allow ourselves to find that self-care, to allow ourselves to create that space for us to clear our minds so that we're aware of our own self-care, that we're aware of our own self-acceptance, and that we know how to find calm in any challenging situation. You're welcome to stay there as long as you want. I'm going to dim the lights real quick. We're going to come into Shavasana, final relaxation, and I'll get us prepared for that. So as we come out of that legs up the wall, again, you can stay right there if you want. We're just going to lay down onto our mats. Lay down onto our mats and just sprawl down on the mat to ground beneath us. And as we find that we're laying down, let's find the most comfortable position that we can find. Allowing ourselves to commit to just fully being right there in that moment, 100%. As we find that comfort, take an opportunity to release any tension you might still be holding on to, whether that's in our mind or on our bodies. Relax the feet, open up the hands, release the palms, let those fingers drape open. Let those glutes press into the surface that's beneath us. Let those shoulders relax and release. Let our face be expressionless so that there's space between our teeth as we relax our jaw. And allow our eyelids to just rest gently on our eyes. And seek to find stillness. Stillness of our body. Try to stay exactly where you're at without moving your body. And with our breath, instead of that deep inhale and exhale, let that breath become a natural, everyday breath. something we don't have to think about, something we don't have to be deliberate about. Just allow yourself to find the comforts and the peace of this posture right here. Also another one to help us manage stress and anxiety. Allow yourself to feel the effects of your practice today. Perhaps you're feeling your body tingling from your fingertips to your toes. Perhaps you're discovering that every part of your body has been engaged in some way in this past 45 minutes. Perhaps you're feeling the effects of some of those other benefits. You're recognizing how this is more than just calisthenics. It's more than just a physical workout. That in fact you were able to make choices for yourself today. Choices that honored your body. Choices that honored you. We call that self-care and self-love. Perhaps those choices were some where you had to ease back and exercise humility, recognizing that perhaps some things were challenging, but you found your own version of challenge, and you found comfort in doing that. We call that self-acceptance. And then throughout the various challenges, we were still able to stay level-headed. We were still able to stay in the moment, keeping ourselves from getting frustrated, keeping ourselves from being judgmental, or setting expectations that were too far-fetched for our own selves. And we call that practicing staying calm during challenging times. Let's take a couple breaths. Find the appreciation for your practice. Our closing message for our practice today. The thing that's so wonderful about yoga is that it brings us into the present moment. We're not worried about what will happen tomorrow, and we weren't thinking about what was happening yesterday. All we were concerned about was what we were doing right now and how we were engaged in our practice. It's all about opening our hearts and living from within our hearts. I honor the love and light in each of you as it's also within me. Namaste. All right, is it time for prizes? Is that what time it is? Let's see. I think I'm supposed to announce them, is that right? I see them in the comments. Okay. All right, and the winners are a $25 Amazon gift card, Ariana H. from U-High. Congratulations, Ariana. Another $25 Amazon gift card to Jack M. from NCHS. Nice job, Jack. Congratulations. Then Haley H. from West, another $25 Amazon gift card, as well as Jason H. from West and Matthew H. So congratulations to all of you. The coupon for a bike from the Bike Co-op is Jasmine from West, or maybe that's Jasmine West. I'm assuming it's Jasmine from West. All right, so please, everybody, there's Lisa's email in the comments there. Please send her an email so that you can get your prize that you won. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. It's always my pleasure to share yoga, to either introduce or just to continue to help people mature their own yoga practices. It's been such an honor. Thank you so much.